Okay, so with question one, you need to look at the functions and the relationships. Okay, so we need to determine whether a graph is a function or not. And in this case, we're looking for one that is not a function. Now, whenever we have a graph, we can easily just use the vertical line test to find out whether a graph is a function or not. So you would have to draw as many vertical lines as possible. And if none of them ever touch 2 points on the graph, then we can say that it is a function. Now, if you come here to answer D, if you draw a vertical line, you are going to touch 2 different points, just like right here as well. You're going to touch 2 different points. Therefore, D is the only one that cannot be a function. Now, looking at number 2, it's the opposite. It asks us for a graph that is going to be a function. So the same thing, it's just a different variation. We use a vertical line test and we see that this graph touches 2 points, just like this graph does as well. Touches 2 points. And this one seems like it doesn't until you reach this part. And that touches a bunch of different points. So none of these can be functions. The only one that is possible is this one right here, where you can draw many lines and you will never touch 2 points. So looking at number 3, we're looking for, again, something that does not show y as a function of x. So we're looking for something that is not going to be a function. Whenever you have all these other representations, you're going to focus on the x's. You need to focus on the x's. You're looking to make sure that none of the x's repeat twice. In this case, you can see that 3, 5, 8, and 9, none of them repeat. So that would be considered a function. In B, when we have our pairs, we look at -1, 0, 2, and 8. None of those repeat. So that would be a function. Now with the mapping, it might be a little more difficult because what you're looking for is that each arrow points to one value of y. If we have two arrows coming out of an x value, then it wouldn't be a function. But in this case, each x value has its own arrow coming out, so that would be a function. Now let's look down here at this graph. If you draw vertical lines where each of these points are, you'll actually notice that we have 2 different points on the same vertical line. So that would be our answer because that would not be a function.